are now plugged into Hooked on Science with Bruce and Tom.
And we're live.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 100 of Hooked on Sonics. I am one of your two hosts, Bruce, and as always, everyone's brother from another mother, the Toe Capone. This week, we are super stoked and honored to have on the show one half of the number one Kiss podcast, Shout It Out Loudcast, as well as three other podcasts, Storm Damage, Album Review Crew, and Zeppelin Chronicles. Not only are they killing it in the podcast world, they are also best-selling authors with their latest book, Raise Your Glasses, available everywhere, kids. Everyone, please welcome Tom Gigliotti. Tom, what's up, my friend?
Hey, Bruce, what's up, man? Thank you so much for that introduction. Very, very grateful for all those kind words. Thank you, my friend.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I got to tell you right off the rip, you and Zeus are the main reasons why this show is here.
That's amazing.
I started
that,
listening.
that means a lot.
I started listening to you guys. I was so sick and tired of the other unnamed Kiss podcasts that were that were shit to their fans. They were tired and just boring topics, and they were afraid to say anything bad about Kiss.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a Kiss fan for any amount of time, you're bound to have something bad to say.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so refreshing to hear you guys speak the truth. And I was like, these are my people. And just the way that you and Zeus really just bond with each other and just, you're lifelong friends. And that's what me and Tony are. So I said, let's give this a shot, but, doing our own thing. So thank you, guys. We truly appreciate it.
Oh, I appreciate that, Bruce and Tone. Thank you so much for that. I mean, yeah, we were just friends of, we've been friends for 30 years, diehard Kiss fans, and we pretty much said to ourselves, let's make a Kiss podcast that we would want to listen to as Kiss fans, because we were listening to podcasts. We're not going to name names, but we were listening to the shows, and we're like, let's do something different that people don't do. Let's make it, a show where everybody can come and have some fun and get some serious stuff, but shoot the shit and make fun of the band. And if you can't make fun of Kiss, then you're not a real fan. I'm sorry. If you can't make fun of Kiss, you are not a real fan. I'm sorry. There's just, if you love everything they do, I do not want to hang out with you. I don't want to know you, because if I do know you, Zeus, I will make fun of you on our show, which we do all the time. So, but anyways, congratulations to you guys. 100 episodes. It's a lot. I can tell you, when you're starting off, you're finding your way, and then you hit that groove, and you guys are at 100. So congrats. That's a great accomplishment. And for me to be your guest, it's just humbling and very honored. So I'm excited to be here and have this episode with you guys.
We're pumped to have you
awesome.
on for sure, man.
Thank you.
I'm very pumped to have you on. I think we're going to have a great conversation about these live albums we're getting ready to throw down on. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to have a very hard time saying like this is from 5 to 1. I think when it comes down to number 1, that's really going to be a fight for me. So I don't know how you guys want to go about doing this rodeo, but
5 to 1.
5 to 1, Bruce.
Yep.
You
Don't be
can
a
kiss
puss.
my ass.
Don't
dude.
be a puss.
You got to go
Do it.
5. Yeah, we're ranking these. We're not doing one of those in no particular order. No.
Oh no, you guys are
You
holding me
have
to a
you
fire.
you have to. Hey, if I had a struggle ranking these, you are too.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
So
Yep.
It's not like we had like 2 months to think about this shit.
Which is hilarious, Bruce, because I was looking back at our messages and I was like,
Yeah.
when you asked me to do this, I was like, oh, this is going to be great. 2 months, man. Talk about time flying. I can't believe we're here right now.
yeah.
Awesome. I'm excited.
I wanted the topic to be top 5 live albums, because we're just starting up in concert season.
Yeah, me too.
And there's nothing better than, you know, rolling down the windows, cranking up some fucking album, and
Hmm.
when you're on your way to the show, and this is just a perfect opportunity to breach this topic. It's gonna be a blast. Tom, I guess the rotation's gonna be you, then probably me, then Tone's gonna um,
Throw down
end it up
final
there. What
comment.
do you?
Okay.
I'm good
Yeah.
with that.
All right.
I broke out a D20.
Oh, geez.
See who would go first, but Bruce got it covered, so we're good. All
Yeah, I
right.
was gonna say, Tom, do you see why I have so much liquor back here? I
Yes,
do a
I
show
see
with him
that.
every week.
I see that.
Yeah,
I see that. Yes, that's what it's
And
for.
Tom,
that's right.
I'm a good dude.
I know you
Trust
are.
and believe.
Trust me, I know.
I have
I
to
know.
sell this. I have to sell this.
I know you guys
I've done
are.
horrible things. I'm not always been a great person in my life, but
We all
Jesus
have.
Lord,
We all
you
have.
know,
We all have. That's why we hide behind
Yeah,
microphones
some of
until
us
we.
are Celtics fans.
Miss
Hey.
Robinson, I'm
That's
sorry about
right.
that cat.
Yeah. Yeah, by the way, we said this before we started recording. I want to thank Bruce and Tone, which is ironic. Tone's wearing a Celtics hat, and we're recording right in the middle of Game 5. So I
Game
love you
5
guys.
for enough to
But
do this.
yeah,
Exactly. That's right. That's right. Never mind the fact that I'm streaming the game next to me right now as we do. I'm kidding. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I promise.
Hey, look, I can turn it on the
he
TV
starts
back
yelling out,
here.
"You motherfucker!"
Hey,
Yeah,
look,
Yeah.
no.
we can cut this feed back here, and I'll put it on the
No,
TV
no,
right
There we
we're
now.
go.
good. No, I'm focused. I'm focused on
But
my
you know
live
what?
albums.
Then we'd probably get dinged by the NBA for
You,
having it
oh,
displayed
you
on there.
absolutely would. You absolutely would. Yep.
They'd be like, "Oh, you thought you were funny? Yeah,
Yep.
great." All right. Well, before we get started, just want to mention if you like what you see here, be sure to check out Shout It Out Loudcast on all your popular podcast streaming services. I'm sure they're across everything like we are. And thank you all for tuning in for 100 episodes. Please like, comment, subscribe. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe over the Shout It Out Loudcast as well. Gentlemen, let's get into it.
All right, Tom. Before so everyone, each one of us, uh, kind of explain to everyone what your criteria was for your top five, and then just get into it.
Yeah. Yeah. So for me, I mean, I'm sure we all kind of have the same criteria, but for me, it was a couple of obvious things. It was obviously, sound quality, but it was also more the set list, the energy that you can kind of feel from the recording. Some of these live albums, especially the older live albums, to me sound, I don't know if they sound better, but I just feel like they just sound raw and more energetic and more powerful. And I have some of these on my list are very old. Some of them are a little bit more modern. So I went with, sound quality, performance in general, set list, and a lot of, I'm sure you guys maybe do the same thing, just kind of nostalgia, of what it means to me, when I first heard it and the fact that I might still listen to it today. So
Cool.
So, all right, I'll start here. So, number
Yeah.
5 for me
Mm-hmm.
comes from 1981, and it is Nine Tonight by Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band.
Oh, so good.
Nice. Nice.
I
Good
know
pick.
I know a lot of people gravitate towards Live Bullet, but to me, Nine Tonight is almost like a greatest hits album for Bob Seger. Part of it was recorded at the Old Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. Part of it was recorded at Cobo, where Kiss played in Michigan. The track listing is just flawless. You got 15 tracks. They put a couple bonus tracks on there during the re-releases, and this is when, to me, Seeger was just like king of the mountain. And I remember growing up with this album. I do have Live Bullet, but that's really old Bob Seger.
Yeah.
So when I hear, and I was listening to Nine Tonight, today, and just energy, goosebump type of energy from him. I mean, he's incredible. Anyways, I saw him in 1997. Obviously, it was kind of tail end of his career. Just incredible. And yeah, Nine Tonight's always been a go-to for me. I've always loved Seeger. So
Yeah, Nine Tonight, was that during the rock tour?
it was,
You
well,
know?
so Stranger in Town came out in 1978,
Okay.
and then this came out in 1980.
Okay.
So, um, yeah,
Okay.
I think
So
yeah,
probably Stranger in Town.
yeah, I think
Okay.
so. Yep.
Man, what's a standout track?
Oh God, for that, I mean, probably my. So it's funny. Probably my favorite um, Bob Seger song is "Night Moves," but
Mhm.
for this album, the live version of Hollywood Nights is just off the chains. I
Yeah,
mean, it's such a powerful, energetic song to begin with, but when you hear the live version of it, it's just, I mean, you could just get goosebumps. You just feel that energy, and I just love everything about Seeger and his band. So,
I think a lot of times when they're into that song live, they're really that's that mark of we're in the groove and now
yes,
we're really getting it off now. You know what I'm
100,
saying? So
100%. By the way, Bruce, I misspoke. They were touring for the Against the Wind album,
Okay.
which came out in 1980. So yeah.
And that's probably my favorite Bob Seger album,
Oh, it's great.
Against the Wind.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a Stranger in Town, Night
yeah.
Moves Against the all just that era of Seeger is just flawless for me.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
absolutely agree. And I would say Silver Bullet Band does not get near enough credit for being so fucking. They were
Oh,
tight, man.
incredible.
Tight.
Yep, agreed.
well, one of the things to mention, man, this just a little fact dinger I'm going to throw in there.
Yeah.
Um, the Gods guitar player, help me out, Bruce. Oh man,
Come on, Bruce, you're on the spot.
Yeah.
he was with Rosie as well. Um, Eric Moore was the singer. Who was the guitar? Who was? I want to say he was a guitar player. But anyways, he went on to do I think the last tour with Seeger
Oh, okay.
Okay.
as his touring guitar player. I think he was Seeger's good touring guitar player for a number of years. Like God, I can't for the life of me I can't remember his name. But he's also in the active version of the Gods right now.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Cool.
So
Cool.
All right. I guess it's me, right?
That's it.
Yeah. All right. So my criteria was uh A, does it sound good? B, how often do I listen to it?
Mm-hmm.
Those are my two main criteria. Like, and the third one is if I'm driving along, because I drive a lot, and that's usually when I listen to my music. If I'm going like this constantly, that's a keeper for me. So
Mm-hmm.
those three things, and plus the nostalgia piece, because I got a lot of nostalgia in here. Anyway,
Yep, me too.
number 5. This recently just got re-released as a 6 LP box set, and I love the original when it came out, and that is Jimmy Page and the Black Crowes live at the Creek. My God.
Okay, so we didn't bring this up before.
Mm-hmm.
So if we have something on each other's list,
Mm-hmm.
are we gonna kind of talk about that? Should we substitute things? Do we want to have duplicates? How
that's duplicates are fine.
okay, okay,
Duplicates are fine.
Yeah.
okay,
Because and even if a duplicate's an honorable mention, mention it.
okay, okay. The reason I ask this is because this is on my list. I won't say where, but go ahead, Bruce.
Yeah.
Take it away. Take it away.
When it originally came out, and Tom, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm 99% sure it was just Zeppelin songs. And
That's correct because there were contractual restrictions from the Black Crowes record company that wouldn't allow their music to be on it.
Yeah.
So when they re-release this, now you get it all.
Everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, on this, it starts off with Custard Pie, and then hearing Jimmy Page play No Speak No Slave.
Oh,
Honey Hush.
it's so good. It's
Fuck.
Did you get the box set as well?
I
as
did not get the box set.
Okay.
I got the two LP.
The 2 LP.
Yeah.
I have been waiting for this on vinyl for like 100 years. I mean, you could go on
Same.
Discogs and eBay and buy like a ridiculously priced. So when the notification came out that this was being re-released and then a box set, easiest purchase I've ever had to make.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
I'm waiting for the right time to get that full box set. I do
Yeah.
listen to the whole thing on Spotify. Jesus Christ. It's so good, man.
It's incredible. It's
So
incredible.
good.
I mean, you get the best of both worlds. You're getting the Black Crowes with Jimmy Page doing Led Zeppelin and Black Crow. I mean, you can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jimmy truly just fits perfectly on with them. Just fits perfectly.
And Chris Robinson fits perfectly singing. It's amazing.
Yeah, no,
Yep.
completely agree. And number 5 for me, Jimmy Page, Black Crowes.
Love it.
Nice. Nice. All right. I guess that means I'm up. Number 5 for me, Bruce.
Yeah.
You've reviewed this album. And I believe when I told you to listen to the album, go ahead and check the album out first, then watch the accompanying video. It's going to make a lot. It's going to make a lot more sense. But unfortunately, this is an album that doesn't make sense because it tells you stop making sense. Talking Heads, Stop Making Sense is number 5 for me. Anybody knows, as much as I'm into doom metal, death metal, and hip hop and all that other good stuff, the Talking Heads are a huge treat for me. I would love to see them live. I would pay upwards of $500 a ticket to go see them live.
Okay.
I'd sell a testicle.
Yeah, that's fair.
They're not being used anyway.
That's fair. Exactly. Yeah, I didn't want to say that, but yeah, I didn't want to say that.
I've known him since kindergarten, Tom. I'm allowed.
There you go. Yeah.
He know, and you know what? He knows I would. Like, yeah, he's gonna do it.
Sure.
But yeah, that's I just it's one thing to listen to that album. It's a whole different eye-full experience if you get to see the video with it. Bruce really got to catch. He called me up after listening to the album, and he's just like, "Dude, I what is this shit?" And I'm like, "Bruce, just do me a favor, watch the accompanying video. It will make sense." Although it tells you to stop making sense.
No, I was never a big Talking Heads fan, but I'm telling you, after listening to that, Stop Making Sense, and then watching the video of it, I was like, fuck, that's a fantastic album.
Dude, I always felt that they were way before their time. Way before their time. Had they come along in the middle of 90s alternative shit that was going on, they would have been even bigger than they probably were in the 80s, man.
I'll be honest with you. Talking Heads, I only know the popular songs. It's not that I avoided them or don't like them. They were just kind of a blind spot. But I've heard just incredible things about the documentary Stop Making Sense, and of course the live album. So, this might be an opportunity to try something new that I've never heard, because like you, Bruce, I'm in my car all the time. At work, I have Spotify on my computer, so I'm listening to music all day long. Sometimes I get bored. So, I'd love to check this out, because the stuff that I do know from the Talking Heads, I think is pretty damn cool. So,
yeah.
Oh man, the video is so cool, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to give anything away, because if you watch it, you go, holy shit, that's fucking genius.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to deny the genius of David Byrne, man. It really is.
Cool.
So
right.
Moving on to number 4, man.
So we're back to me, and I guess we'll breeze through this one because we already talked about it with Bruce. My number 4 was Live at the Greek, Jimmy Page and Black Crowes. This could have been higher than number 4, but I mean, we talked about it. It's an incredible performance. I love that it's the 25th anniversary and they re-released it for everybody. And I love the inclusion of the Black Crowes tracks. That was a huge void when this was first released. So it's just, I almost feel like it's cheating, because you're getting Jimmy Page with the Black Crowes, you're getting Led Zeppelin with the Black Crow. Like it's amazing. I love every bit of it, and I've been listening to it since it came out in 2000. So good stuff there.
I am definitely going to have to check that out myself. I'll be honest. I'll be honest. If I'm not familiar with an album and you guys bring it up, I'm going to look into it. So
you will not be disappointed. It's incredible.
And last thing I'll say about it is, I love how Chris Robinson, he's just being him.
Yeah, he's not trying to be Robert Plant. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
There's a lot of people that really make that mistake, and it don't work.
Yep.
This works perfectly.
100%. Yep.
Kind of like the Ian Asbury Doors thing. It just fucking worked.
Yep.
You know what I mean? He could be himself vocally. I don't
Mhm.
give a fuck what you say, dude. I'm not a fucking Doors fan. You know this shit.
You
I
don't
know.
like
That's
the
why you're over there
Doors,
fucking
man?
No,
making faces and
hates 'em.
shit, dude.
So, okay, so can we veer off for a quick second here?
We may,
The
we may.
the Doors are one of those bands. When I'm sure we might bring up another band too, where I don't know if anybody is like, yeah, the Doors are all right. You either love the Doors or you fucking hate the Doors, and
Yeah.
I love the Doors,
Me
and
too, man.
it really. I mean, no. Well, I don't want to say any spoilers, but I guess this is a spoiler. I do not have a Doors live album on my list. I don't, and it breaks my heart. But I will say this: being a vinyl nerd, record store day every year, they love the Doors. They're
Yes.
always dropping studio versions, box sets, live stuff. They love the Doors, and I love it too because I just think they're so flippin' unique in what they do. They're just
Yeah.
so unique. But I get
So
it, Tone. I get it, Tone.
I
I
have a
get it.
right. I have a right to defend. So let me retort.
Go
Let
ahead.
me retort.
Yeah.
So I really like the vocal style of Jim Morrison.
Okay.
Let me get that perfectly clear. I'm
Yep.
a huge Danzig fan. I'm a huge Cult fan. So that crooning, deeper vocal style is something I really dig.
Yeah.
The problem with the Doors for me is one of the greatest things about the Doors. It just doesn't register for me. And that's Ray Manzarek on keys. The keys just don't sit well with me.
I get it.
Ever since I was young and I heard Riders on the Storm, he had whatever. It just was not a song that registered well with me. And there are Doors songs that I can tolerate, but
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that I'm a big Doors fan. I'm just
I,
not a Doors fan, man.
I
And
get it.
I have nothing but respect for the band. I've seen the movie. I thought Val Kilmer did a great fucking job.
Yep.
So other than that, no real love lost. They're just not my jam. Now, have I gone back to listen to them several times? I do this with several bands, Death being one of them. It took me forever to realize that to take in, and I love death metal music,
Hmm.
but I could not get into fucking Death to save my ass. Third time in, I go, you know what? Each album progressively got fucking better. This dude was a fucking genius. And what he
Hmm.
was going to move on to do, Chuck Schuldiner was going to move on to do, was going to be even fucking greater.
Yeah.
Which is hard to do considering the library that Death has. But, you know, at some point in time, maybe I'll dig them. What's the 5 to 1 or something like that? That's an okay tune. I don't think there's much of the fucking
They're to be honest with you, their debut album is like a greatest hits album.
Yeah.
Like the self-titled debut album is probably where I would tell somebody to start with the Doors.
Yeah.
That's just me, which is rare because you don't do that with a lot of bands.
yeah.
That's true.
And
then
and, and and to be honest, a Doors live album probably deserves to be on one of our lists. You know what I mean?
I agree. I agree.
yeah, it's the problem with Doors live is while it's kind of free flowing and it's fun.
It gets a little
Erratic.
it gets a little wild. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm looking online right now. I don't know how big of Doors fans you are, but Alive She Cried is like
Uh-huh.
I mean just like magnificent. But you know,
That's a compilation.
right.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're just they're live albums that they do for record store day, and whether or not you want to call those official, I mean technically they're official,
They're official. Mhm.
but you can't really buy them outside of record store day.
Right.
So you know what I mean. So they're official, but they're not.
Yeah.
But live at the Bowl, 1968, I have that one on vinyl.
Fantastic.
Insane. It's insane.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. But I misspoke with Alive She Cried. Forgive me for that. Yeah.
No, you're fine.
But anyways, there's our Doors moment.
And now back to our regularly scheduled program.
There you go.
Indeed, man. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to write down these titles. What was the name of that Bob Seger album again?
9 Tonight.
Thank you.
Yep. All right, Bruce, lay it on us. What's number 4?
All right, number 4. I would be remiss if this band has so many fucking live albums. Like, you really got to sift through some stuff. But the one I picked wasn't even their first one. I believe it was their second live album. So early in their career in 1969, give you the Rolling Stones, Get Your
Oh.
Ya-Ya's Out.
All right. Nice.
This thing is just so raw and loose and just fun.
Nice.
I love how Charlie Watts is one of my favorite drummers because he's so understated and he's just perfectly in the pocket every fucking time.
He really is. He's so underrated because everybody talks about Jagger and Keith Richards, rightfully
Mhm.
so, but he's so friggin' good, dude.
Yeah. And there are instances in this album where Charlie's just kind of going along, and the rest of the band's trying to figure out where the hell Charlie is, and he just stays constant, and they
Yep.
just catch up with him.
Yep.
Instances like with "Live with Me" and "Carol" and "Little Queenie," just super cool deep tracks. I love this album so much.
Yeah.
This
It's
is a
great.
must-have for any Stones fan.
Yep.
Must-have,
Yep. It's great. It's great.
and it's a cool cover.
Yep.
Nice.
All
Nice.
right, Tone. What do you got
Tone.
at number 4?
Number 4, man. This is see, so because we only had 5, this is where shit gets really kind of hectic for me to organize. So I'm going with my heart here, and I'm going to say number 4 would be Pantera, official live 101 proof. This album is probably one of the best recorded live albums I've ever heard to this day.
I'm
Now
so glad you picked this.
let me once again say I don't listen to a lot of live albums. I'm very picky about what I listen to because I've been burned 1,000 times, wasting my time listening to a live album, and the recording sounds like utter fucking shit. And
Yep.
it's not recorded to sound the way it probably should sound. Um, this album is just an absolute fucking masterpiece
Yeah.
from beginning to end. There are so many rockin' tunes on here. Phil's banter with the fucking crowd is fucking amazing. The way the fucking crowd responds to, like, on fucking Hostile.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and they've got the track labeled as Hostile because probably something with the label or some shit
Right.
like
Right.
that.
Right.
But man, dude, let me tell you, I remember picking this up from Media Play over on Broad Street, and Bruce knows where this is at. And I ended up picking this up on, I think, fucking cassette.
Hmm.
Threw it in my fucking Sony Walkman and walked in the rain, jamming the fuck out of this motherfucker, heading to where I was going to go party fucking next.
Yeah.
And I will tell you what, man, I remember I've heard live albums, but up to that point, I can't recall a live album that was that fucking great, aside from another one that's going to appear on my list. But I do give you Pantera Official Live 101 proof.
Nice.
I saw them last summer when they opened for Metallica, but I'm stoked because this year in August, me and 3 buddies are going to see Pantera. They're on their headlining tour, so can't wait. I know it's not the real Pantera, quote unquote, with Zach and Charlie, but I'll take it because it's still got Phil. So yeah, but yeah, that's a great album. Great
I'll
pick.
be honest with you, man. I understand why Vinnie Paul didn't want to do anything about Pantera reunion or anything like that, and I completely respect that. But if a generation was ever going to get to see the opportunity or hear those songs live,
Yep,
I don't think they could have picked a better group of guys to set it up and go off and do it with.
I
Do I
agree.
think that they should record a new album?
No, I don't want to see that. I don't know if
No.
anybody. I don't know if anybody wants to see
Under
that.
the Pantera banner,
That's pushing it.
That's gross. That's
kind of
gross.
that's kind of pushing it for me.
Yeah,
Now,
I don't want to see that.
now, I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. A full album, no. Maybe a new track or two, just because we could see what these guys could come up with together would be kind of cool. But a full album and labeling it as Pantera,
No,
no.
no.
I couldn't see it. I would like to see personally, because I love musicianship and I love all of these musicians. I would love to see what they could come up with, but I don't want it. I don't want to see a big dose of it. I don't want to say it. Here we are. We're the new Pantera. No, 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 no. You're not.
Make a new group called, something like Shandy's Addiction.
Oh, By the way, I fucking love that track on Kiss My Ass.
That's so good.
I absolutely love that track. Yeah. Nice.
Anyway. All right, Tom, you're up, my friend. Number 3.
Okay. So one of my all-time favorite bands that I was on from the get-go in the 90s, and it's interesting because I still listen to them probably more now than I did in the 90s. Um, they have they have a couple live albums. They have a live album where they are plugged in, but my number 3 pick comes from 1996, and it is Alice in Chains MTV Unplugged.
Oh,
That's a solid pick, man.
And this is
A.
I love MTV Unplugged. I mean, putting the Kiss performance to the side because that's just something legendary.
Mhm.
Yes, I love Alice in Chains and how heavy they are and just how brutal they can be, but something about this performance is just so haunting, especially when they do those unplugged songs from Jar of Flies. When they're if you go listen to the unplugged version of Nutshell,
Mm,
it is like life changing. And
mm.
then when they take the real badass songs, you know, like Angry Chair and Rooster and Sludge Factory, and do those unplugged. And not to mention, there's a brand new track that they introduced called "The Killer Is Me," which is incredible. They introduced it there. Um, it's really a flawless performance, and it's really kind of when you watch it now, it's really alarming to see Lane. He's just completely out of it, but he nails every word. His vocal tone is just as haunting and chilling as ever. Um, and this is also the performance that's kind of funny. I don't know if a lot of people know this. This is kind of funny because the bass player for Alice in Chains, Mike Inez, written on his guitar, he wrote, "Friends don't let friends get haircuts."
Yeah.
Because he was
Metallica.
exactly.
Yeah, I remember that shit.
They were shitting on what had happened to Metallica with the load and reload era, and I just think that's classic. But yeah, if you're an Alice in Chains fan, obviously you know this album. If you're not, it's a flawless performance. Um, you can watch the video for it. It's out there on YouTube or whatever. But yeah, it's just incredible. And again, Alice in Chains has a legitimate full band plugged in live album from 2000, which is great too. But I always go to the unplugged one.
No, I would completely agree with you on that.
Yeah.
I could dig on a couple pieces of your conversation here real quick, and I just want to put in a few quick excerpts if Bruce doesn't mind. Um, when we talk about what happened with Lane and how he was on time and whatnot in that performance,
Yeah.
we back in early days of my band before we even become Suspect Earth as Bruce had known it, we were a band called Nation at War. And this was an early rendition of what would eventually become Suspect Earth, but we had a bass player. His name was Dan. And this dude, we eventually learned that he was doing a bunch of fucking heroin. So we've nicknamed him Heroin fucking Dan. And after he had left the band, after having a freak out day one day, we did a couple shows with us at the house where we threw big parties and shit. He uh he leaned up against the wall the whole fucking time and never missed a fucking note, dude.
Isn't that amazing?
Never fucking missed a fucking beat.
It's
So we ended
amazing.
up writing a song about him called Heroin Dan. And the funny thing is there's a lot of shit that rhymes with Dan. So we would say shit like Heroin Dan, caught him getting dope from the Taliban or some shit like that.
Those poppy fields, man.
There you go. There you go.
So we would do this. And the other thing is the other dig I want to take on this is, man, when grunge stepped in, it really kind of, I don't know about you guys. I'm at the age where at the time when grunge stepped in, man, it really kind of felt like it stepped on the party's dick. You know what I mean? Like you ended up there. We had this great party zone. We had bands like Kiss and Poison and all these other bands, and things were kind of changing and making some direction. You would hear bands like, what's that band that fucking Neil Sean was part of there for a second, man?
Bad English.
No. There's something else. They did a song called Hot Sherry.
Oh, Hardline.
Hardline. So
Yeah.
Hardline had come out. You had Circus of Power that was dropping around that time. And these are bands that if I mention these to people, people go, who the fuck are these motherfucking bands?
Yep.
And fucking Stephen Pearcy from Rat had Arcade going on at the time. So
Yep.
there was all these other things that these other bands had done. And then all of a sudden fucking grunge come right in and stepped right on its fucking dick. And it was like, what was interesting to see what the hair bands of the 80s were going to eventually evolve into, but we never really got to fucking experience because here came this wave of fucking grunge. But of the grunge things that happened, Alice in Chains was my band and
Oh
Soundgarden.
yeah. Yeah, it's funny. Zeus and I have talked about this before in a couple episodes where I know a lot of people think, and I mean, I'm not going to argue that grunge didn't step on their dicks, but I think the hair metal bands stepped on their own dicks
Yeah.
because at that time you just had so much bullshit cookie cutter, just I mean, you had all these I mean, Bruce, you hear about the bands we make fun of, friggin'
Oh, yeah.
Dangerous Toys and fucking Tora, and I mean, I'm sure they got good
Y and
songs.
T.
Yeah, I mean, they decent bands, whatever. But at that time, and that's what happened with grunge after all the success of Soundgarden and Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains, Nirvana. By the mid late night, if you think grunge only lasted about 4 years, if you really think.
Max.
And then after that, you had all the cookie cutters, and then you had the mid late '90s alternative, and then we got into new metal, and then that's where we all turned the corner. But
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was a confluence of everybody stepping on each other's dicks at the same time. But some good music came out of all of it.
Oh, yeah, man.
I mean, you had a band, Kiss kind of kicked ass with with Revenge. You still had Guns N' Roses putting out the Use Your Illusion album. Metallica, flipped their lid and did, the Black Album and stuff. So, I mean, I love that era. I mean, plus that's where Zeus and I met. We were freshmen in college in 1991. We graduated in 95. So we were in college right during the heart of grunge. So it was like, it was perfect for us. But
yeah, we were
I mean,
right in high school for that. And it was like, this was our music.
Yep.
Grunge
I agree.
was our music.
Oh, that was your shit, not my fucking shit. Let's get this fucking clear fucking now. Because my musical journey would go many different fucking places and it lands in many different phases. Right now we're in a fucking doom jazz phase. So get off my fucking dick, asshole. And it wasn't your shit. Grunge was your shit, not my shit. I don't own that fucking shit.
He was too busy wearing boxy suits like David Byrne, dancing around to, friggin' burning down the house.
He couldn't fit on the school bus with this fucking boxy
there you
thing.
go.
It's like,
there you go. Yep.
Yeah, all right.
So that was my number 3.
That was Alice in Chains Unplugged. Fantastic pick.
Fantastic pick.
All right. I'm going to take a little side road, easy for me to say, for my number 3. This is of the country genre, one of the original outlaws of country. This guy, when he was in his prime, there was no one better. His backing band was fantastic with Ralph Mooney on the pedal steel, Richie Shortstroke Albright on drums. I'm giving you Waylon Jennings Live, the expanded edition. This is critical.
Okay.
When they originally put out Waylon Live, and I think it was 74 or 75, it was like less than 10 tracks, and they cut out so much of the actual performance. They re-released this in the mid-2000s that included, I think it was 3 nights in Austin, Texas, and it included Waylon's stage banner, which Waylon is so underappreciated as just a performer. He was so funny. His stage banner was just, it was great. The band was just on it. Some standout shit for me was Big Ball in Cowtown. It's a Bob Wills cover. That's an old Texas swing thing. T for Texas, an old Jimmy Rogers thing. Lonesome, Ornery, and Mean. Just so many. There's like 42 tracks on this thing.
Nice.
Absolutely must have for any Waylon Jennings fan.
That's dense, dude. That's dense.
Fucking fantastic.
That's
I bet.
wild. Nice.
I bet that's a 3 hour listen.
A couple hours.
Shit.
And Waylon's guitar tone is just fuck that chicken picking thing he does. That's the
Yeah.
best way I can describe it. Chicken picking.
Oh, his guitar is one of the most beautiful guitars you'll ever lay eyes on.
Oh yeah,
The one that's wrapped in leather and shit, man. That fucker's beautiful, dude.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. Waylon is one of my favorite top 5 performers of all time. Period. Dot. Uh, Waylon
Nice.
Live Expanded Edition. There we go.
Nice.
Nice. Good pick, Bruce. I figured something country would land on your shit.
A little bit.
Moving forward, before I mention track number 3, I forgot to mention my criteria. My criteria being the album had to have some impact on me. The album had to be densely loaded with great tunes. It wasn't, we're talking no skips, man. I can listen to any of these albums any day of the week. However, once again, I'm not a big live listener, just not my big thing as of lately. Been listening to a lot more different stuff. And because of the show, I listen to so much fucking crazy shit. If I had to guess that if any album on my list was going to make anybody else's list, it would be this album right here. And the reason I was going to say this is because until this album dropped, metalheads did not really have a great live album. This album was a pinnacle live album and is revered as one of the greatest live albums recorded in the metal industry. I'm going to give it up to Iron Maiden, Live After Death, for my number 3. Standout tracks, man. The whole fucking album. The just this thing, Bruce. If you've never seen Maiden live, if you've never gotten to experience Maiden live, this album catches that essence to about 70%. Because if you're not there experiencing it, you're not catching that visual of what they do live. And Iron Maiden is one of the best bands I've ever seen live. I've been blessed to see them in great seating situations. Got to take my wife to go see them last year. We grabbed a couple shirts. I'm too fat to wear them. But anyways, this album is densely loaded. Favorite track on here is Hallowed Be Thy Name. It just rings across whatever stadium or whatever they're shooting at the time. Rumor has it was only recorded in 2 different places. So
LA was one of them.
And I think Florida was another.
Okay.
I'll
have to check my notes.
They said something Long Island. No, I don't know, man. I thought when I heard him mention the city name, when I heard Bruce mention the city name, I thought of Florida. So I could be wrong. Smoke a lot of reefer, that happens. So other than that, man, yeah, definitely number 3. It could have been higher, but I got to listen to some other shit today, and number 2 and number 1 are my hard toss up. So
yeah, I know this isn't gonna fly with the show here, but yeah, I'm not a big Maiden fan. I know if I know those people like me exist.
No, it's
I
all good, man.
I like the popular stuff. I like Number of the Beast and Peace of Mind. I like those albums, some Power Slave stuff, but I've never seen them live. Maybe if I saw them live, that would change my mind. I know everybody who's seen Iron Maiden says the same thing, but yeah, I got plenty of friends like you guys that love everything about them, and that's fine. I don't hate them. They just never really tickled my funny bone.
Yeah. You know what's funny about that, Tom, is this was one of the first cassettes I ever got as a 12-year-old kid.
Yeah.
My older brother Dale gave me a little boom box.
Yep.
And he gave me the Live After Death, and I don't remember the other thing, but this one really stuck out. I love this album a lot. It did not, spoiler alert, it did not make my list.
Yep.
Just because of this other shit. But I love this album a lot.
Disrespect.
And this is about the only Maiden album that I'll actually listen to.
Disrespect, dude.
So,
disrespect. I'm going to take you behind the woodshed, son.
It happens.
All right. Number 2, my friend. Tom, what do you got?
All right, number 2. This is an album that I've been on board with since it came out when I was at the ripe old age of 8 years old.
Huh?
I discovered this band from the MTV performance videos that were from this, and it is one of my Mount Rushmore bands, and that is Exit Stage Left by Rush.
There you go.
1981, touring in support of moving pictures. Um, it's just off the charts. I mean, if you're a Rush fan, I know there's a lot of people out there that like their early album, All the World's a Stage, but for me, this includes Permanent Waves and Moving Pictures, and that album doesn't. It's just it's incredible. They throw in a couple deep cuts, but throwing in Beneath, Between, and Behind off the Fly By Night album is just mind blowing. Everything else is pretty much the hits. All the big stuff for Moving Pictures, and then they do a bunch of Permanent Wave stuff and some Farewell to Kings. It's just absolutely incredible. The band sounds absolutely magnificent and on point. This is their peak, probably, I would say 1981, 82. And I remember MTV at the time, that's all they were really showing were performance videos from these guys on this tour. This is kind of when I discovered Van Halen, because those live performance videos for the Fair Warning tour with So This Is Love and Unchained. So yeah, Exit Stage Left has been just a go-to for me. And like you, Tone, I'm not a huge live album guy, but certain albums by certain bands, I love the shit out of, and Exit Stage Left is just one of those for me.
Yeah,
Now,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
My dad turned me on to Rush.
Okay.
I make no bones about it. And Rush is one of those bands that you either love them or you fucking hate them.
Just
And
like
hate
the
'em.
Doors. Just
and a
like
lot-
the Doors.
A lot of it has to do with, I think, Getty's vocals.
Oh,
Now,
totally. My co-host Zeus, we just reviewed the Permanent Waves album, which shockingly he enjoyed, but I think he liked it because there's only 6 songs on it, and he didn't have to listen to Geddy Lee for that long. But he
Yeah.
says the same thing. He's like, I don't know how people listen to Rush. I'm like, oh, it's okay. I get it. I get it.
So
Totally
I get
with
it.
Zeus.
I get it.
Totally
Tom,
with
let me
Zeus.
ask you one question. Okay.
Yeah.
Being that you are a Rush fan,
Yes.
what is your favorite Rush album?
Oh God, I go between Moving Pictures and Signals.
All right.
Yeah, but I love Fly By Night because Fly By Night is like a very Zeppelin type of Rush album.
I know this is going to sound like a cop out,
No, go ahead.
but I might as well mention this because I think it was going to make my honorable mention.
Okay.
2112, I think they did a re-release and it had the whole rest of the album, like a B-side of the album that was live.
Yep.
And still to this day, 2112 is hands down my favorite Rush album.
2112 is amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. It's incredible.
I know it seems like a cop out, but
No, not at all.
I love.
Probably picking Moving Pictures as a cop out but yeah.
I have a hard time naming a bad Rush album.
Yeah. No, dude, I'm with you. I will say this, some of their mid to late 80s when they got like super synth heavy, I kind of shifted away a little bit, but they found they found their way back. But
dude, I still
yeah.
thought Presto was dope, man.
Presto's not bad. The Hold Your Fire and Power Windows are where they kind of lost me a little bit because it's way too. I mean, it's even been documented that even Alex was like, guys, what the fuck am I even in this band anymore? You're not even letting me play my guitar, you know? But they found their way. But Bruce, Rush is one of those, kind of like the Doors. I get why people don't like them. I get it, and I won't argue with them. It's fine. I get it.
Now, I do love the first album.
Oh, the debut?
I love In the Mood.
Yeah.
And I love Working Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love those songs.
Prong just did a great cover of that, man.
Yeah, I
saw him do it live.
You're missing out. There's no Neil Peart on that album, though, man.
Yeah,
Come on.
I know.
That's their original drummer. I know. I get it. I know. It's okay.
I'll ease into it.
Okay, that's fine. I get you.
Pucker up, son. Pucker up.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Bruce, number 2.
Number 2 for me, I would be remiss if I didn't mention this band. This band has been so important to my life, and this band has so many live albums, it's hard to choose from. But at that time, they only had 2 previous live albums. So I picked the third one that came out when I was a kid, and that is Kiss Alive 3.
What an awesome pick. I fucking love this album, Bruce.
I pick Alive 3 over Alive 2 because Alive 2 I absolutely love. Alive, I'm just tired of it.
Yep.
I'm just tired of it. But
Yep.
Alive 2 I love, but Alive 3 I love just a little bit more. The
Mm-hmm.
the production's better on it.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Singer is an absolute fucking MVP beast on this thing. Paul is at his peak vocally. The track selection covers almost every album except for just a few. Uh it's just perfect, man. It's just a perfect Kiss live album. I
Yeah.
love it.
It's funny, Bruce, when Zeus and I, when we rank, we do our live albums, we rank the live albums separately from our studio albums. And
Mm-hmm.
we haven't done all of them, but we have done Alive 2, Alive 3. We've done those. And I remember just taking an absolute public flogging for ranking Alive 3 higher than Alive. And it's the same thing that you said.
Mm-hmm.
Go listen to that version of Watching You. That's the song that
Oh,
always sticks out to me. What Eric is doing on the drums for that song, he took a song that was already kick-ass
mm-hmm.
and gave that song brass balls. And then
Yep.
Bruce, that lineup, that Revenge era lineup, off the chains, that set list, like you said, is fucking perfect. I love that album. Love that album.
Absolutely. And I love how they closed with the Star Spangled
Star
Banner.
Spangled Banner. Yep.
It's just, I mean, this album is just fucking perfect.
Yeah. And I one of my biggest regrets is not seeing them on that tour. Fucking kills me.
I had a chance. Let's see, they were playing that club tour for the Revenge warm-up shows.
Yep. Yep.
And I was in Toronto at the time. I was let's see, 92. I was like 14,
Yep.
about 14 years old. And I was with the Columbus Boy Choir. Yeah, laugh. I don't care. Anyway, we were up there to do a performance, and I was trying to sneak out of the hotel because they were in Toronto the same day that we were.
Oh
And I was trying
no.
to sneak out of the hotel as a fucking kid to
Yeah.
go to this fucking club in the middle of downtown Toronto.
Right,
I
right.
had any clue what the fuck was going to go on, but I couldn't get past the security, so
Oh yeah.
I missed my chance.
That's funny.
Love it. Love it.
Yep.
All right. I guess I'm banging out number two. So for number two, I'm going to give you a double live album.
Do it.
Bruce and I butt heads on this band constantly,
Uh-oh.
but
Wasp?
I am a huge fan, and I finally got to see them after several fucking tries. They were once my unicorn band. It was damn near impossible getting to see these guys. They'd cancel shows and all that and whatnot. Needless to say, Wasp Double Live Assassins
I knew it.
He knew it.
is hands down one of the densest live fucking albums, and the medleys that fucking Blackie and the boys play on there. And if rumor serves correct, I believe this was still a pretty good portion of the main lineup, and fucking Chris Holmes was still on guitar. And man, this thing just fucking shines. It was a great live album. I remember jamming this several fucking times. Standout tracks, the Crimson Idol medley, I Want to Be Somebody. What else? The banter that goes on about Chris Holmes and his run in with the police for fucking Mean Man was fucking. I just man, it's a great album, and there is about 18 tracks of density on this album. Blackie sounds great, the band sounds great. Yeah, number two for me, man. Wasp Double Live Assassins.
Yeah, I don't mind Wasp. I be honest with you, I don't know this album because I was never a big Wasp head. But what I do know of Wasp, I don't mind at all. So, but I take your word for it. I'm sure the album sounds awesome.
Tom, refresh my memory. What album of Wasp did you guys review? Was it 6 months ago?
Yeah, we did it for a album review crew. It was a
Yeah.
Patreon pick. It was the Wasp self-titled debut,
Okay.
and I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. I'm not kidding.
Dude, it's amazing. This guy over here, he doesn't
Oh.
get it, dude.
Zeus. So that was one of the most fun episodes we ever had. We had Tony Masalam from Restrained. He was the third
Yep.
man in. And it was just such a blast because the album, like, I legitimately enjoyed it. Zeus was like, "What the fuck are we? Why? There's a song called School Days, and it starts off with a bell. Like, are we 12 years old? What are we doing here?" But I was like, you know what? I don't care, dude. I fucking love it. I love Blackie's voice. I think the band absolutely rips. There are On Your Knees is one of the fucking most underrated Wasp songs ever. I think that album absolutely rips.
Yeah.
I like that. And then what's the one after there with
Inside
Blind
the Electric Circus.
No, what's the one with Blind in Texas and God,
Animal. I think Animal's on there too.
yeah. No, that's on the self-titled one. The Animal
yeah.
Fuck Like a Beast. But anyways, yeah, I don't mind Rush. I just don't know that live album. I mean,
Yeah.
Wasp. What am I talking about? I still got Rush on the brain. We're all talking about bands we don't like.
No, yeah. It's if you get the opportunity to check it out, it is available out there on YouTube. That's
Nice.
how I ended up listening to a lot of stuff today, man. Yeah, the production on it is great, man. That's one of the things that really, when I think we can all agree here is, I don't really want to be listening to an album that I think that they're pumping fake crowd noise into.
Yep, I hear
You
you.
know what I mean?
But every live album has a little bit of tweaking. There has to.
Yeah.
And these albums don't sound like that bad.
No.
You know what I mean? If it's been done, it's barely noticeable. You know what I mean? It makes sense. All right. Number one.
Number one, Tom.
Yeah, this is probably the least surprising thing, Bruce. I mean, I representing a Kiss podcast. This is probably the easiest pick. This is probably my favorite album of any album ever made, live or studio. So this was an easy number one for me, and it's Kiss Alive 2.
Yeah.
It's been my just my. I mean, Love Gun is my favorite Kiss studio album, but Alive 2 is just to me the greatest band of all time at the peak of their powers on this tour. The bands, I know, obviously there's this tweaking done to it. I get it. It's fine. I can deal with it. To me, the bonus is the side 4 with all the original tracks, Rocket Ride and All American Man and Larger Than Life, and Ace singing Shock Me with the guitar solo, and it's just, I mean, if you're a Kiss fan, I don't know how you can't think that this album is just a masterpiece of live performance. Whether or not you want to argue how live it is, quote unquote, or not, it's always Alive 2 for me.
No, I completely agree. And again, it's when I picked Alive 3 over Alive 2, I mean, it was like 1A and 1B.
Mhm.
Like,
yeah, I get it.
My favorite lineup is the original lineup. And when I Stole Your Love comes on, or fucking Detroit Rock City, it's fantastic. And you're right.
Yep.
Rocket Ride and just that whole side 4 is fan-fucking-tastic.
Yep.
But when I picked Alive 3 over it, it's like, okay, I tend to listen to Alive 3 more.
You're right. Yeah.
And so, but
plus, I mean, you're getting a more varied set list. You kind of it spans the eras, so you get a little bit more. So I get that too. Yeah.
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 But I can't disagree with you. It's a beautiful album.
Yeah, it is. Yep. All right, Bruce. Here it is, the moment of truth.
Okay.
Uno.
When I picked up this album, it came out in 2 versions. Came out as a single disc and then a 2-disc collector's edition at the same time. And I immediately got the 2-disc version. And this thing is this is the best live album of all time. There's no discussion. And that is AC/DC Live. This thing, top to bottom, it's got everything. It's got everything. And
it's pretty sick.
It really is. Sonically, Chris Slade on the drums, taking over for Phil Rudd. And I'm sorry, Phil Rudd, I could give two shits if he was in the band. I wish Chris Slade was still in the band. His drumming on this is just thunderous and just fantastic and just
Slade was
so
the bald
energetic.
guy, right?
Yes.
He was a beast.
Yeah,
He was a
dude.
fucking monster, dude.
And I remember when I first got this, I took it to uh, the church I was going to as a kid, and no one else was there. And I put it in the little PA system in the sanctuary, and I just fucking cranked up Thunderstruck and this in this fucking sanctuary, and I was like, yeah,
So
it was the
Bruce,
best.
so this Sunday coming up for the first time ever. I think Zeus has already seen it, but me, Zeus, and our other friend Jimmy, we're all going to see AC/DC at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough.
Nice.
So,
Enjoy it. They've been doing
yeah,
good.
I mean, I get it. They're old, and
Yeah.
Brian has, some struggles. I don't care. AC/DC has always been the one band they were a blank space in all my concerts. I've seen
Wow.
every other big band that you can pretty much imagine except them. So when they came around, I'm like, fuck, we're going, dude.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
I seen them. So this was on the Razor's Edge tour. I seen them on the Ball Breaker tour in 95, 96.
Okay.
And it's such an amazing show.
Yeah.
And God, I
Yeah.
was so lucky to see him then. Unfortunately, Phil Rudd was back. So
Yeah.
that was a little disappointing, but
Yeah. Plus,
Yeah.
I know we haven't really talked about album covers, but I love that album cover of AC/DC Live.
oh yeah,
I love
It's-
just Angus just in the air. I think it's so badass.
yeah.
I love it.
And I was going, so at that time they had two. They had the one with Bond, If You Want Blood.
Love that one.
Uh, Fantastic cover. It's a great album,
Yep.
but this Soup to Nuts
Yep.
it's just better.
Yep.
So much better. I love this album.
Love it. All right.
Tone.
Congratulations. So I get to be the oddest man out
Do it.
and name a band that you guys are probably not familiar with.
Ooh, okay.
This album dropped last year and has made other lists for me because of the style or way they did this album. This is a straight soundboard recording from what I understand. There is no crowd noise throughout this
Okay.
album that I can physically hear. Maybe I'm listening to it too low. Maybe it's not there because it's a straight board recording. However, it's because it's a board recording. This is some of the best that I have heard the lead vocalist and really hear some of the nuances of the band because they're so totally fuzzed out. And that is Electric Wizard, Black Magic Rituals, and Perversions Volume 1.
I remember you telling me about this album.
Dude, this album hit the end of last year and ended up making my top 5 for the albums last year. And this thing is an absolute fucking maniacal fucking beast if you're an Electric Wizard fan. Being a big doom metal fan, being that they are who they are when you consider the big four of whatever, they would be in the big four. This album came out of fucking nowhere. It dropped, and I can tell you, talking to other doom metal fans that are familiar and with the Wizard, is it's an amazing fucking recording. Like I think I turned you onto it. It wasn't quite your type thing. Maybe you listened to a few tracks, maybe you made it all the way through it. However, Funeralopolis on here sounds fucking great. Um uh Dope Throne as the opener. Oh, Jesus Lord. It's so fucking dense and heavy. But this album blew my mind. And the thing I love about it is the thing that makes it not sound like a live album. And that's the crowd noise. There's really none there. And this is just an amazing drop, loaded with just great denses. Black Masses. Oh, Jesus Lord, man. I can't even get into it. Just these dudes they're great, man. And with that being said, that's the 5 alive. 5 alive, fellas.
5 alive.
5 alive. So
Johnny
I know that
Five Alive?
we're running on maybe not too much of a scheduled time, but let's talk about some honorable mentions.
Okay.
Tom, what do you got?
So I got three honorable mentions here. I'll just kind of blow through these quickly. From 1981, live in Houston, Journey. If you haven't heard that one, they just re-released it on vinyl in 2022, double vinyl. It's absolutely fucking flawless. I love Journey, and this is on the Escape tour. So again, peak of their powers there.
Mhm.
Steve Perry's just off the chains. Neil Sean just absolutely incredible. One that I kind of feel guilty that it didn't make my actual top five, but there were so many to choose from. So I knew we'd do an honorable mentions, and that is Led Zeppelin, the complete BBC sessions. Uh,
Oh yes.
Absolutely friggin' stunning set. I could have picked that, or I could have picked the soundtrack. The song remains the same. That's a live album also. But BBC Sessions, and they re-released it as the complete BBC Sessions. It had a bunch of tracks that weren't on the original disc. So that is just an incredible one too. And then my last one. This is a personal left of center pick here. One of my kind of secret things that I love is I love jazz and I love big band music. I grew up with it with my dad listened to it. Both of my grandfathers were professional musicians, so I grew up listening to this, and it's a absolutely flawless live album if you love this stuff. And it is Sinatra at the Sands. Frank Sinatra performing live, and I think it's 1969, and he's backed by Count Basie and his orchestra and his band in Vegas. Absolutely stunning if you're into that kind of music, and I love it. So I probably could have picked 10 more, but I'll cut my honorable mentions off at three right there.
If this was a 10, a Sinatra album probably would have made my list.
Yeah,
I'm
Sinatra at the
I,
Sands is just magnificent.
I'm a huge Sinatra fan.
Yeah, nice. Bruce.
Awesome picks. All right. For me, Iron Maiden, Live After Death, that was right there. And I was like, I'm going to hold it off because I know Tony's going to have it. I just knew you'd have it.
Yep.
So I was like, fuck it. Next was Pink Floyd Pulse.
Oh yeah.
That
Okay.
was that one from '94, and I still got the one where it blinks.
How
And
is that still blinking?
so I just replaced the battery.
Oh, you okay? I was gonna say, 'cause isn't it
It's
like 30? It's like 30 years old, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
for this little light. It's two fucking AA batteries.
That's amazing.
It's fucking wild.
Yep. Yep.
Such this is off the Division Bell tour.
Yep.
Fantastic. And then last but certainly not least, Nirvana's Muddy Banks of the Wishkah.
Good album. Nice.
It's
Nice.
a really good album. So
Yeah, I like
that's
that
what
one
I
too.
got.
Nice. Tone.
Three, no in particular order. Ace Frehley, Frehley's Comet, Live Plus
Oh.
One.
Oh, good
Um,
stuff. I like.
the
I
drum
like. I
solo,
like that. I like
the
that.
drum solo that Anton Fig does on there
On
is
Breakout.
is probably my favorite drum solo I've ever heard on any live recording.
That's a really good live album for all the
and-
shit we give Ace.
Yeah, I know.
What
Realistically,
are you
it's
talking
just,
about?
Yeah.
I wish there was more tracks on it.
Yeah.
But they kind of stuck to a really limited track, and that's why it didn't make my list.
Yep.
Number two would be Song Remains the Same.
Yeah. Yep.
I was in agreement when I heard you mention it. Definitely a wonderful any Led Zeppelin live is just it's a wonderful sound, wonderful experience.
Yep.
And the final for me would be bear with me, I apologize.
You're supposed to be a trained professional. What
I
the
know,
fuck?
man. I just
Is you can say it's James Brown live at the Apollo. It's fine. It's on everybody's list. Which, by the way, I know we're all laughing. That's fucking an absolutely insane live album.
yeah.
Was Bootsy with the band at that point?
Oh, that I don't know. I can't off the
Okay.
top of my head. I can't recall. But
Okay.
that's just a sick live album. I'm just trying to fill in the gap while Tone figures out his other
Yeah.
honorable mention.
I know, and it's throwing me off a little bit. Give
Pick
me a
another
second.
bit. Pick another band I've never heard of because I have no idea who Electric Wizard is. So
Don't encourage 'em.
shit.
I know,
Yeah,
I know.
you don't want to do that, man. Fuck.
another
man.
honorable mention I almost picked. I grew up with my mom listening to this was Barry Manilow live.
Really?
Well, kind of tongue in cheek,
Oh.
but
I know what it is.
go ahead.
Thank God.
Thin Lizzy, Live and Dangerous.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Thin
That
Lizzy,
ain't
Live
bad.
and Dangerous, man. Wonderful album.
Yeah.
Speaking of live shit, I know we're all going into the concert season. One question before we let you go. I know you're going to probably be wrapping this up here soon. Is there any shows you're looking forward that you got tickets for this year?
Actually, this summer is loaded for me. I always try to get a bunch of shows, but this is pretty good for me. I got AC/DC coming up. I got a couple of hip hop shows I'm going to with my son. My son's 20, so we're going to a couple of hip hop shows this year. I'm seeing Tesla for probably the 10th time. Seeing a band. I don't know if you guys know the band Chevelle. I'm seeing
Oh
them.
yeah.
Yep.
Seeing Shinedown again with my buddy. What else am I seeing? Pantera again in August. So I got a loaded summer, so I'm kind of amped for all that. Yeah.
Dude, nice.
Yeah. What about you guys?
Let's see. I know I've got the Wallflowers kind of on my list.
Yeah.
Conan in
Gonna come up?
Columbus.
Are you coming
I
up?
just
Are
might.
you coming? I'll buy your ticket if you come up.
Spoiler
If you come
alert.
up, I'll buy your ticket.
Oh
dude.
hell, we got free
I'll buy it
tickets.
to fucking night if you come up, dude. I've already bought mine. I
Of
thought
course
about
you
going.
did.
I thought about going to see him up at the West Side Bowl too, man. But that's fucking almost a 3 hour fucking drive.
Oh fuck that. And then that's all I can think of off the top of my head. But I always like to pick these little kind of low-dose shows that. Oh wow, I didn't know they were playing Faster Pussycat. Faster
Nice.
Pussycat's coming up.
Are you gonna
here.
go?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Are
go.
you,
It's
are you going to see him there? Or are you going to see him up here?
No, I'm gonna see him here in Knoxville. So
Okay.
I thought
Nice.
about
like
seeing- I
it's
thought
like a
about seeing-
200 seat place. So
Dude,
whatever,
they're going like $45 a ticket. I'm just like, I don't know, dude. Like,
Oh, that's fine.
I don't know, dude.
All the money that Bruce makes off the Hooked on Sonic endorsements, he pays for the shit itself.
Yeah.
Shut up, Tom. He's not supposed to know about
Oh,
that.
Hey,
sorry.
dude, let me
Sorry.
know. Let me know if you want to make it up. It's on a Tuesday night in August, I think.
Nah.
I'll cover your ticket if you come up. All right?
Okay.
You know
We'll
you
see.
got a place to crash. We'll drink. And have
There we
a good
go.
Time.
There we go.
Now shows for me.
Yes.
I am going to Sonic Temple, and finally, after almost
nice.
30
Good
years, I'm
for
going
you.
to see Acid Bath. That is my main goal. That is my top goal. My wife is there to see Korn. She's there to see Crossfade and a few other bands. I want to see Metallica. I've never seen Metallica, so they're going to be doing 2 sets.
Really?
Yeah,
What?
I've never seen. Well, long story behind that. Bruce was at the show I was supposed to go to back in like '94, where they had Suicidal Tendencies, Danzig,
In
and Metallica.
Danzig, yep.
These were all 3 of my top bands at the time, and I
Yep.
should have been at that fucking show and never
Yep.
got to fucking go.
I got you.
And then at the end of May, I've got tickets to go see Trouble at the Ace of Cups, which is I'm very excited about their old school doom metal masters. And
Cool.
Bruce, if you come up and see Conan, man, and let's go see him at the Ace of Cups, man. We'll get to probably hang out with him.
Yeah. Let's do it. Fuck it.
Nice.
Tom, one more thing from you. We always ask all of our guests to give us an album that whether it means something to you or something that you've been listening to, an album for us to review for next week.
Oh God. All right. You're gonna have to give me a second here.
Oh, here we go.
Because I've been listening to so much stuff that I could pick pretty much anything at you. Okay, I'll make this easy. You guys choose to do whatever you want with it. But speaking of Alice in Chains, I'm a huge fan of Jerry Cantrell's solo material, all the way back from Boggy Depot and up to his most recent stuff. So he just released, I think it came out in the fall, or I lose track of time now. I don't know. It could have come out this year. I don't even know. Released a new album called Vilified. It is fucking amazing. He's getting back to his Alice in Chains root. The album that he had before that was called Brighton, which I absolutely love, but it was a little bit more of his kind of southern rock country grunge influence. This one is much more Alice in Chains, and I'm gonna have to correct myself again. The name of the album is I Want Blood. The first single was called Vilified, so I correct myself there. The album is called I Want Blood, and the single was Vilified. So I misspoke there. It's
Gotcha.
incredible. If you're an Alice in Chains fan and a Jerry Cantrell fan, I don't see how you're not going to love this album. It's excellent. So, and I love that Alice in Chains is still making music and Jerry Cantrell is still making music. And I'm jealous as fuck because my 20-year-old son is going with his girlfriend to see them in concert next week in Connecticut, and I'm not. So
I'll be seeing them at Sonic Town.
yeah, yeah.
So,
So-
I'll say this, man. That's an awesome album to get the opportunity to review.
That's
And
great.
we really appreciate you dumping that on us.
Yeah.
Now, only because you mentioned it,
Yep.
that you're a jazz fan, I
Yes.
want you to grab you a pen and paper and write this down. I'm giving you something that I gave Bruce, and surprisingly, he absolutely fell in love with it.
Okay.
However,
am I in for a joke or what are we doing here?
No.
no. Because
Okay.
you said you were a jazz fan.
I'm a big time jazz fan, so lay it on me.
This is dark ambient jazz. I listen to this shit at night constantly. I listen
Okay.
to it when I'm in the car.
Okay.
The name of the band is Bohren, Bohren,
Okay.
and just the and symbol.
Yep.
Der,
Okay.
Club of Gore.
Club of what?
Gore, Gore.
Okay.
I said the same thing, Tom. Don't worry.
No, I'm just making sure I'm writing it down. Okay.
Now, they're a band out of Germany,
Yep.
and they write what's called, doom jazz style. They're very, very big. I've listened to a lot of this version of style of music, and I cannot find anybody better in the genre than these guys. They're great bands out there, but not like these guys. These guys are fucking.
I will
killers.
check it out and I'll give you my feedback. I'm always interested in that kind of shit.
You need the album name.
Oh,
I am
okay.
going to give you Patchouli Blue.
Say it again.
Patchouli Blue.
Oh, patchouli,
PA?
as in patchouli.
Mhm.
Patchouli blue. Okay. Got it.
Bruce, you got anything you want to lay on him or suggest?
Oh, sure. I'll give you King Curtis live at the Fillmore West.
Okay.
That's with Bernard Purdy and on the fucking drums,
Dude,
and Billy
King-
Preston. Yeah.
Dude, first of all, King Curtis is fucking awesome. Bernard Purdy is incredible. The Purdy Shuffle, the guy's a legend. So good. So good. He's played with everybody.
Yeah.
So
You
good.
will love this fucking album.
I can't wait. King Curtis is great. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to try them out both. I appreciate it. That's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And Tom, again, we appreciate you and Zeus, A, for you being on here, and B, for all your guys' support and help these past couple of years, helping us, behind the scenes and shit like that. Couldn't be here without you guys, and I absolutely love your show. I absolutely love you guys. So, thanks, dude.
Well, thank you again. It's just very, very grateful and humbling to hear that. I remember when we were first starting out and how we, we're leaning on some of the people that have been doing it for a while. So, paying it forward is our thing, and you guys are doing great. You just hit 100. So I wish you all the best. I hope you get 100 more, 200 more. Keep going because I love your show. You guys have a great thing going. You get that camaraderie and you get that chemistry that Zeus and I have. You guys know how to play off each other and you know what each other is going to say and how to make it flow. And that's the key right there. So good luck and congrats on 100. Thank you for having me. I'm honored.
Thank you so much for sitting in.
All right.
It's been a blast.
Thanks.
All right, gentlemen. It's been a wonderful evening of reviewing these live albums and talking and discussing them. But as we wrap up episode 100, I'm Tone.
I'm Bruce. That's Tom.
And that's Tom, man. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.
See ya.